Here's a question we ask a lot of people when we interview them if they're older bands. Is it still that band? We asked Jonathan Cain, is it still Journey after all the personnel changes? Pete Agnew of Nazareth, is it still Nazareth? And now with Kansas, who have gone through a lot of personnel changes. But when you see them in concert, and a lot of fans will tell you, that's Kansas. So it's up to you to decide if a band is still that band. A lot of people will give you the analogy of a sports team, that the sports team goes on, but that team is not the team that, let's just say in hockey, won the Stanley Cup in 1979. It's not the same guys. So people argue back and forth on whether a band is still a band. We asked the guys in Kansas the same question on Rock History Music. The members of Kansas include Phil Ehart, who's been there since '73 on drums. He's also their manager. Rich Williams on guitar, an original member. Bill Greer is their bassist, has been in Kansas since 1985. Ronnie Platt on lead vocals from 2014 to present. Zach Risby, lead and rhythm guitar, was with Kansas from 2016 to 2020, then came back in 2024. Tom Brislin, who's also been with the band Yes, 2018, and Joe Denenzone joined in 2023. Classic members of Kansas, Carrie Lifgren, big songwriter for the band, lead and rhythm guitars, keyboards, synthesizers, and backing vocals. He was in the lineup from 73 to 83, then 90 to 91, 99 to 2000, and a guest in 2023. David Hope, bass and backing vocals from 73 to 83, and 1990 to 2000. He was also a guest in 2023. Robbie Steinhardt, who passed away in 2021, the violinist of the band for their signature hits like Dust in the Wind and Carry On Wayward Son. From 73 to 83, from 97 to 2006. Steve Walsh, the voice of Kansas during their heyday. Lead and background vocals, keyboards, synthesizers, vibraphone, and percussions. From 73 to 81 and from 85 to 2014. John Elefante, also a lead vocalist, from 82 to 84. Steve Morris, known for Dixie Dregs, was their lead and rhythm guitarist from 85 to 89 and again in 91. He was also known for his stint in the band Deep Purple. Greg Robert was the keyboardist from 87 to 97. David Ragsdale played violin for Kansas from 91 to 97 and 2006 to 2023. And David Mannion, keyboardist from 2014 to 2018. When I was talking to Tom Brislin, I asked him, I said, what it's strange that people say, oh, there's only two original members, Kansas should pack it in, stuff like that. I'm going, have you listened to the last two albums? Have you not listened to these albums? I mean, my God. And he's like a kid, he was so happy. Great interview, by the way, just great. But I say that I talked to the people who've been in bands like Pete Agnew in Nazareth, and I'm going, I liked your new album. I'm glad you're still around. I don't know why people bitch, because people like to bitch.
What's funny is I've been kind of dealing with this for a while. And with today, I have put my stake in the ground is my official new opinion of all of that. Rich, what do you think about the people that say, you guys should give it up and it's not the same? It's not the original six. It's like, I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. I don't care anymore. I'm done with it. I said, you don't like it, Grandpa, go home, listen to the records. I can't do anything about that. But your opinion is not going to stop me from doing what I love to do. You don't get to dictate my life and my love of my job. So kiss my fuzzy butt. And that is my opinion from now. Because what I realize is it's the squeaky wheel. If there is 1 in 100 people that have that negative attitude, I'd be surprised. It's just that they're the ones that make the most noise. And if you follow them at all, they bitch about everything. Their lives are miserable. And they are born to bitch. I don't care anymore. You don't like it? Don't come. Why do you even have an opinion if you have such a dislike of this? Go away. And if that offends somebody, I don't give a shit. Be offended. Thank you.
That's how I equate it. It's like, hey, I'm from Chicago, and everybody always refers to the '85 Bears, how great they were, but you know what? The team still goes on. There's new players, but it's still the Chicago Bears. And just like in any sports, they're drafting the best of the best. And you talk about Tom Brislin. Are you kidding? The guy is a monster. Are you familiar with his resume?
I
Meatloaf,
interviewed him. Yeah, I talked to him.
Meatloaf's keyboard player, Debbie Harry's keyboard player,
John Anderson.
toured with Yes. Are you are you kidding me? You know, and then Joe Denizon on violin now. Oh my God. You know, it's still Kansas. There's you can't help but when you become a member of Kansas, you get into that Kansas vein. It's like that blood starts to rush through your system and you become part of Kansas. Me, it's a little different because I've been such a hardcore Kansas fan since a teenager. And you go on YouTube and you look at my cover bands from the 80s, and we're doing not Point of No Return, not Wayward Son. We're doing deep cut stuff. We're playing The Wall. We're playing Play the Game. We're playing Right Away. Uh, Miracles Out of Nowhere. I mean, I really had a running start into the band, but everyone in Kansas, you become part of Kansas, and it just the band is going to continue regardless. I hope the band continues long after I'm gone. And another way to equate it is why are symphonies still playing Mozart and Beethoven? They've been gone, oh, what, a couple hundred years, you know, and we're still playing their music. I hope it's the same way with Kansas.
I would say have a listen to the whole thing and come to a show.
Yeah.
And then draw your own conclusions. Because and I don't think it's necessarily up for debate either. It is Kansas. It is Kansas. I mean, Phil and Richard have kept the tradition going. Billy has been a band member for so many years. David Ragsdale has a big history with this group, and it's got the blessing from Kerry Livgren. He came and sat in with us when we played in Topeka, and we all 8 of us on stage playing Dust in the Wind, and we do a little rehearsal before the show in one of the dressing rooms, which is great. I love being able to just warm up and vibe with the guys. And Kerry was just standing there hovering over me playing, and we're doing Hopelessly Human or Closet Chronicles, these real epics, and here's the composer literally over my shoulder observing, no pressure or anything, but he, you know, and after we were done, he just looked at me and said, you played that part right. It was like, okay, God, thank you.
You seem like the type of guy, though. You seem like the type of guy. Let me interrupt you. That and they can kind of put you in any situation. You don't come unprepared. You don't seem like the type of guy that would ever be in a room. And I always tell my son, if you get embarrassed a few times, probably the best thing that could happen to you as a musician, because you'll never let it happen again. But you do seem like that type of guy. You come in, you're locked and loaded.
You have to be, and you show respect to the band. And the people who are putting their seal of approval on me, and they're saying, you're the guy, we believe in you. You want to prove them right. And I like geeking out too. I love digging into every nook and cranny of those Kansas songs. So it was fun and a little obsessive too. So yeah, I mean, but who wants to be that musician that shows up and is the one that's getting dragged along by the rest of the band? That is no fun.
How did the Kansas thing happen?
I had known Tom Brislin, their keyboard player, from the Jersey music scene. The progressive rock world in Jersey is kind of a small community of people, and a lot of the same musicians, a lot of the same fans. So, you know, I've seen him play, and he'd seen my band. And when the time came for them to get what do you call them, understudies for each guy in the band. He recommended me for violin because he knew me as kind of the prog violin guy. And they had all had COVID at one point or another. They didn't want to have to cancel any more shows and lose money, and they made a rule that everyone has to have a backup person to be able to step in. And then I got the call in February. I started learning the music for the 50th anniversary tour. But David was Ragsdale, who I have deep respect for, who's been in the band for a long time, was still touring with them. But there were some personal issues, some health issues with him, and they weren't sure if he could continue touring. So I was it was on and off, just be ready, but everything is cool.
So he's finished now with the band. He's moving on, doing his thing.
As far as I know, it's health related, and
okay.
That's as far as I can say. So
cool.
It was a very difficult decision for them to make because he had been with them for such a long time. And I wish him well, and I have nothing but deep respect for him. And
I'm aware of Kansas as a teen.
Well, gosh, when Wayward Son came out, you couldn't not hear it on the radio, and it was just such a powerful song. It grabbed my attention then. And God, I was a huge Kansas fan, a huge Rush fan, Genesis fan, Yes fan. I really was gravitated towards the prog rockers, but here's where I'm going to default a little bit.
Okay.
I really fell in love also with the bands that had great singers. And I remember working at Q's Pizza, my first car, a Mercury Montego. I had a cassette of Journey Evolution, and I played the heck out of that album. And just, between Steve Walsh and Steve Perry, Lou Graham of Foreigner, Brad Delp of Boston. I mean, these guys, they all were my heroes, and guys that I tried to emulate. And just from listening to all those guys and, taking a piece from here, a piece from there, I developed my own voice, and I'm lucky that I gravitated towards guys that have my physical makeup, because I've always said, hey, I love AC/DC, but if I sing AC/DC for 2 songs, I'm done for the night. That's not my physical makeup. So to have my physical makeup be in line with what I love, that music, that Kansas, that Boston, that Journey, and my cover bands played a lot of Styx, it just worked out good for me and developed my voice over the years. And my mindset, even back being a teenager, I always had the mindset is I want to be better than my last show. And I kind of developed that work ethic when it comes to my voice. God knows I didn't have it in other areas, but when it came to singing, there was something subconsciously in me that I took it very, very seriously. And listening to Steve Walsh and listening to Steve Perry, it's like I just zeroed in on them. I mean, I listened to their breathing, and it taught me how to sing, even outside of being in, choirs and having a high school music teacher, Mr. Smalley, who was a great singer, who helped develop my singing. Everything fell into place.
You named him. Thank you. I know I sometimes have to ask the vocalists that I talk to, and I talk to a lot of folks. There's that thing about honoring the people from your past who sort of helped you get to the bug, which helped you work, which helped you get into that room.
Absolutely. And my seventh and eighth grade music teacher, Miss McQueen, I mean, I could close my eyes and picture them. Fred Smalley, my music teacher in high school, big, robust guy, uh, real strong voice, and, taught me how to do triads on the piano and work my voice up and down. Stuff that has stuck with me my entire life.
So there's no thoughts with Kansas of an end date, though, right? I mean, people always ask yes that, but for them it's physical in some
Phil and I mean, maybe 10 years ago, we might have talked about, what do you think? How much longer? We don't even talk about it anymore. The only thing we talk about in that is that there is no end.
Yeah.
What if it's the horizon is always in front of us. The past is in the past. We've got a lot of touring to do to back, another Fork in the Road album. And, we've got some songs in the can. We've started writing. So 2024, we're hoping to record again.
Oh, good.
So there's no plans in stopping this. Why would I want to?
Mm-hmm.
And do what? There's a golf course up here where we live. I don't have good eyesight anymore. I can't even see the ball. And it's $100,000 a year to join. I'm and I can sit around with a bunch of old retired fart bag accountants and bankers and lawyers. I have nothing in common with them. I want to play in a band. And so
no, they'd be going to remember, Rich, when you were in that band and it had all those flashy album covers, and then you changed it to Dust in the Wind. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's
with you and Phil. You guys are still doing it.
I think the only confrontation we ever had that was, almost like a fight kind of confrontation was the first band I was in high school was the Pets. And my parents would not allow me to go out of town. We'll put up with this band stuff, but you're not, I was just a junior in high school. And so when suddenly the band wanted to go, to the neighboring county or whatever and play, I couldn't go. I got fired. Well, we bought a PA together. The band, each guy bought we had Argus columns and a Bogan amplifier. And I had bought one of those Argus columns. And I was told, you're out of here and you're going to lose that. I went to Phil's house, knocked on the door, pushed him out of the way, went downstairs, grabbed that, and took it home. You can't take, you bet I can't take it. And did. And I don't think we've ever had a harsh word since then. And that was way before Kansas. There are no surprises, I guess. We've been basically married since, 1973. And so, and we, share a common cause. Phil and I are quite different, but we do equally share the common cause of the love of what we do, the love of being in this band, and and protecting it in every way, because we are going to keep this going, because this is the love of our life. And so it's really pretty easy. I mean, we talk, even off the road daily, if not every other day, about this and that. Plus, we have a language that goes back that no one even understands what we're talking about. And we have a sense of humor that we share that people, what's wrong with those two giggling and laughing in the corner? It's something that we've shared for so long that you can't really explain it. Our wives think we're crazy sometimes. What that I don't even get it. What are they laughing about? And we're just on the ground laughing. Those things only come from time and trust and the love of one another and all the commonalities we have. and we're kind of the last men standing. I would hate to lose that because it's kind of something we've lost with all the other guys. Dave Hope and I were the closest, best of friends in several bands together before Kansas. And once he left, people vibrate out of your life for lots of reasons. He moved away, married, born again Christian, started a new life in another area, and it all makes sense. And it's all part of life. And I don't want to give that up.
I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, share our videos, and like them as well. And if you want to help the channel, join our Patreon, get early access to all our videos. Also, if you want to donate, there's a PayPal link in the description. Everything, all these things are in the description of the video. More from Kansas coming up in the next few days. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music. Take care.